Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. I do hope you consider hitting that subscribe button, share the video, like, comment, and also hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Alright, let's get into this latest episode of Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 5, called The Fifth Day. Why? Because they're simply just running out of titles. All right. So the episode starts off with Grace trying to convince Sophia to get up and go downstairs for Lady Mae's Sunday service. So Sophia tells her that she was up all night and she's exhausted, but she'll come down for brunch. She says, "I'll do the family thing, not the faith." And Grace says, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey, but you're a Greenleaf and it's the same thing. Now get your butt up and come on." Next, the family gathers for Lady Mae's service, including AJ and Noah. And as Lady Mae speaks, Kerissa keeps blurting out little comments and looks back at Jacob. So Jacob finally says, "Do you ever just give it a rest?" And Kerissa says, "Do you really want to get into it in front of all these people?" So Bishop intervenes and says, "Kerissa, ever since I met you, you've been a woman of impeccable devotion. Focus on what Jesus has done for you and settle down." And for me, that was the most polite way of saying, "Kerissa, shut the heck up and stop interrupting my wife." But Jacob joins in and says, "Amen." So Bishop says to him, "And you do the same." Next, service is over and everybody is lined up for their buffet-style brunch. During this time, we find out that Sophia's booby pics have resurfaced because somebody that Dante knows screenshotted them. Now Sophia is embarrassed to go back to school. In another conversation nearby, we have Grace and Noah, and he asks Grace if she remembers the first Sunday at Calvary, which was Consecration Sunday. And Grace was like, "Why would you bring that up?" Because, this was the day that she lost her virginity, okay? Right up in the church. Grace was definitely a little rebel. Like, of all days to lose your virginity, you're going to choose Consecration Sunday, okay? A day that you are supposed to be, cleansing yourself, presenting yourself holy, all that stuff. Consecration is pretty serious. Anyway, so Grace says, "You better not even mention this to AJ." So Noah says, "Okay, but I think he might enjoy the story." Next, Lady Mae goes to see Tara, and they start off with a little small talk about Tara's ministry. Tara tells Lady Mae that she never stays in one place for too long because she can't keep up with the fluctuating rent. So Lady Mae says, "So you've never thought to do more?" Then Tara goes on this whole spiel about what's more than saving a soul or feeding a hungry child. Lady Mae says, "Feeding 1,000, 10,000. So Tara says she's not interested in going after the glorious visions. She just looks to the gospel. So Lady Mae says, "But now you want my house." Then Tara says, "Look, I know that I don't have a huge claim on the house, but if Miss Davis wanted my father to have it, and there was foul play involved to get him out of the way, then that house could be used as a shelter and a safe haven for women and kids living out here on the streets." She tells Mae that she would be doing so much good if this happened. So Lady Mae said, "I should have known better. This morning I asked God for a new beginning." Well, God has quite a sense of humor. Then tells Tara that she's doing good work. And I don't know, guys. I know Tara seems genuine and maybe she really does like to help people, right? But I still got my eye on her from the time she made that mysterious phone call about her meeting with Jacob. So, needless to say, I don't trust her. Next, Bishop takes AJ outside to the garage, or whatever that was, and he tells him a story about a car he's always wanted. His father's response to this was, "You keep praying for it." So Bishop says that one day his father came to him and told him his prayers were answered. So his father presented him with this huge crate with the car inside, except it was thousands of pieces. Bishop tells AJ that his father was trying to teach him that faith without works is dead, but he didn't learn anything at the time. So AJ says, "I don't know anything about building cars. I mean, I could hotwire one, but the building part is a no." So Bishop says, "I don't know anything about building cars either, but if you help me build this one, it's all yours." And AJ's face lit up, okay? And it was just a very special moment. And I feel like AJ deserves something like this to be happening in his life after all he's been through. Next, Noah and Grace are talking and they're getting along pretty well. In fact, Grace tells him that after Tara's call last night, she stayed up all night thinking about all the memories in that house and how she even thought about Noah. So Noah then grabs a pillow and places it over his lap so Grace could lay down. He knew she needed some rest because she looked tired and she already confirmed that she hasn't slept well in weeks. So Grace tries to fight it at first, but eventually decides to lay down while Noah stroked her hair. Okay, so where this will lead, guys, I don't know. But I've always liked Noah, but he was married, right? He was always taken. So when Darius came along, I liked him for Grace too and forgot all about Noah. So now that we have this little scene here, things could start getting a little confusing for Grace. But does she even want Darius? Does she even want Noah? We shall see. Next, Lady Mae comes home and Bishop asks her how it went with Tara. So at first she tells Bishop that she doesn't want to talk about it. On top of that, she didn't look happy at all, okay, guys? So Bishop says, well, wait a minute now. I let you go down there to handle things woman to woman. You didn't want no men involved. Now I need to know what happened. So Lady Mae says, I think we have to give her the house. Bishop says, why? Because she says so? And Lady Mae says, I think it's because God says so. So Bishop says who? Her? All right. But Lady Mae just says, look, I don't know, James. I want to hear from God. So as Lady Mae is going up the stairs, Bishop says to her, but he hasn't told me yet. Next, Jacob and Kerissa sit down and talk with Zora to tell her that they're getting a divorce. So of course she's upset and she automatically blames Jacob. She tells him that she wished they would have gotten divorced a long time ago for her mom's sake. Because who's going to want her mom now? Some old dude? So she gets up and tries to leave, but Kerissa stops her to let her know that it's not all on Jacob. So Zora wants to know what exactly her mother did besides cook hot meals while her dad screwed around. So Kerissa says the details aren't important. Just know that me and your father missed the mark, both of us. So Zora is just pissed off now, okay? Because I guess she gets it and she storms out. Now, Kerissa is upset too, and she tells Jacob that she's willing to drop this whole thing. She's still willing. But once they tell Winky tomorrow, there's no turning back. Because, she's not going to put him through that for no reason. So Jacob says, understood. Jacob is kind of just really he's just really nonchalant. You know what I mean? I've mentioned this before in other videos. He's been nonchalant about the whole thing, and it doesn't seem like it's hurting him at all. Clearly, it hurts Kerissa. She doesn't want the divorce, but Jacob is over it. And honestly, I don't know what's going on with Jacob. I don't know why all of a sudden he's just totally done. Because like I said, when he was trying to turn over a new leaf, he really seems like he was trying to save his marriage and trying to be a better man. But something happened along the way. I guess maybe Carissa's attitude turned him off. I don't know, but he just got tired, I guess. Anyway, if y'all got any ideas of what's going on with Jacob, let me know, okay? Holla at your girl. Let me know what y'all think, because I'm just wondering what in the world happened besides the cheating part. Not forget about that. I'm just saying, he was it's not even about the forgiveness. It's about the fact that he just don't want to go back to that thing. And it's wasn't you trying to work things out and be a better man for her and all that? So what happened with that, Next, AJ sits down with Sophia and he can tell something is bothering her. He says, I stuck around for you. And she says, thanks. So AJ says, don't thank me. Just tell me what's going on. So Sophia just tells him that she's an idiot and people suck. In which AJ says, tell me about it. So we see here that this isn't the most comfortable conversation to have with your brother, which is why Sophia is being so vague right now. Next, Grace wakes up from her nap and Noah tells her that while she was sleeping, he had time to think. He tells her that when he lived in the cabin, he remembered coming across a journal that the caretaker left behind. He tells Grace that the journal had certain plans and sketches for things to do with the property once Miss Davis was gone, almost as if he thought he was going to get the house. Noah also tells Grace that many times the caretaker would write in his journal, the Negro came by and that Negro came over. So we find out that the caretaker was a white man and so was Miss Davis. And that was a revelation for me because I didn't know Miss Davis was white. Anyway, Noah says to Grace, what if that Negro was Daryl James? So before Grace could respond, Bishop pokes his head in the room and tells Grace that he needs her help. So Noah excuses himself, and long story short, Bishop let Grace know how Lady Mae's visit went with Tara, then asked Grace for some money with the hope that the money would send Tara on her way. So Gigi says, how much do you need? And Bishop says, how much do you got? Next, Charity calls Phil's father, Mr. Shabazz, to try to get some info out of him, but just like he didn't budge for Grace, he didn't budge for Charity. But at least he gave Charity more time than he gave Grace. So something serious must be going on or must have happened at Edenvale Lending because Mr. Shabazz ain't saying nothing. I mean, he's protecting this info as if his life depended on it because he definitely knows something. Next, Sophia eventually tells AJ about the pics all over the internet, and AJ tells her that she's going to have to go back to the school, grow some cojones. He then says to Sophia, what do you want that you could have? And she says, to stay here with you and Zora. So AJ was like, okay, whatever, that's kind of lame. Long story short, he tells Sophia that she's going to have to grow up and leave the nest someday. What you see around here, your Uncle Jake, Aunt Charity, grown folks still living at home, isn't normal. He tells her that she's going to have to go somewhere sometime and she's going to have to take her sorry self with her. And it won't be easy, but she'll do it. And he leaves her with that. And I was like, okay, big bro, go on and drop that counsel, okay? I really enjoyed seeing this side of AJ, okay, guys? He was less gloom and doom and seemed to be more receptive to Bishop and was helpful to his sister. So I'm like, yeah, this is good. Like, it's nice to see. So maybe he's starting to feel like his life has a purpose, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why he has a change in attitude. Maybe he feels like, he got something to live for. Next, we see that Grace goes to the cabin and finds the journal. Then in another scene, Mae tells Bishop that she doesn't want to use Gigi's money to pay off Tara. Instead, she tells Bishop that they're giving Tara the house. So Bishop says, well, now you're going to make me look like a murderer and I can't let you do that. Just then, Charity comes in and says, we're going over to Calvary one last time. Do y'all want to come? Lady Mae says, not today of all days. Charity says, we're not saying goodbye, we're saying thank you. So the family goes to the church and they slowly walk through and share memories. And Bishop has a little speech, then whispers to Lady Mae at the end of it and says that she should give the house to Tara if she wants to. And Lady Mae says, if he wants to, meaning Jesus. Lastly, Bishop and Lady Mae go over to talk to Tara again. And, I'm assuming they went to tell her about their decision to give her the house. But Tara wasn't expecting them. And to Lady Mae and Bishop's surprise, Rochelle is there and she was just leaving. So now Bishop and Lady Mae are floored because they probably feel duped at this point. Anyway, that was the episode, guys. I said there was something up with Tara, and now we see that Rochelle has most likely been in her ear. And by the way, I'm kind of annoyed to see Rochelle. Like, I was kind of hoping that she wouldn't resurface because her character just annoys me. You know what I mean? That whole Slick situation, it just gets on my nerves. Like, Basie, I could take him a little more than Rochelle. Like, it was just, I don't know. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to mention is that it's really sad to see the Greenleaf say goodbye to Calvary. Such a beautiful church with so many memories and things like that. So, I do feel bad for them. And it would also be a shame for them to lose their home as well. So we really don't know what's going to happen with this. But I just feel like, dang, they lose a church. They're losing this wonderful house, all these beautiful memories, raising their children. And then what about Faith? Isn't her grave on that property? You guys let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Be blessed. Bye-bye.